What's going on, guys? Seth here. I know, I look absolutely fantastic in my new Superman shirt, but try to contain yourself, guys. This is not about my shirt. Fine, I'll do it. Anyway, enough humor aside. This is the sharpening video I've been wanting to do for a long time, to where I can actually get to the point and explain what I'm doing and do it quickly. Because I know most people don't want to watch a 30 or 40 minute video on sharpening. I don't. So what I'm going to do is quickly discuss what I'm going to do and how it works. And I'm going to show you what you need to do your sharpening. You will not need anything like this. Remember, I'm only showing you how to do it. I will not be doing anything dangerous tonight, except taping off the blade, because I do want to do that to get my sword ready for tomorrow. So let's get started. I'm going to get my first thing you need to do is prep the sword, guys. What you want to do is you want to kick the cat out of the way first. You want to take the sword out of the saya, the sheath, scabbard, whatever you want to call it. You want to get some Windex, some rubbing alcohol, whatever you got, to get the oil off the blade. You don't want oil on the blade because it makes a freaking mess when you start using the sander. Blade turns black. It's just not a good. It's just not a good. Shoot, get down. Not a good idea. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to prep the blade by cleaning it off. Dora, get off my chair! Stop. And I'm going to, let's say I was going to clean it off, and I'm going to tape it off. I will show you where I leave off at, but you want to leave as little of the hide exposed as you can. Like, I'm usually pretty liberal with it because I don't really care about the line that appears. But you will have a line, and I'll get into that in a few minutes. So for now, let's get our sword prepped, shall we? We are back. The sword's prepped. Now let me explain about the prepping process. You want to have your sword taped off something similar to what I have. Only the edge should be exposed. I do not sharpen the Kasaki. I don't do it. When you get to this point, you need to stop, especially if you're learning. I am still getting comfortable going past this. You want to have the point taped off. This area right here is the most fragile part of your blade, because it's the thinnest part. If you touch this point on that belt, it will chip off unless you are really, really good at doing the sharpening. And if you're watching this, that means you're trying to learn. So my advice for now is stay away from that area. You don't need to cut that high up anyway. It's really, really bad for the sword. You want to have the spine, everything taped off, both sides. You want to try to get the line that's exposed as close in length, or in width or whatever, on both sides, because you're going to have a line there that is going to be different polish than up here. Okay, follow me? You want to have the hibaki taped off as well, because the belt is going to come really, really close, and you don't want any scuff marks, any sanding, anything going on past where the edge is taped off. Okay? So here's a checklist of what you guys are going to need. You're going to need some Windex or some alcohol. You're going to need paper for cutting tests in between the belts, to see how you're doing. You're going to need gun oil or some kind of sword oil once you get done with the process. You will need plenty of paper towels. You will need the tape here to take the blade off, of course. In my black bag right here, I have a big block of honing compound. This comes into play in the final step, so we'll put that aside for now. Like I said, I'm not going to sharpen this tonight. I'm only getting it ready for tomorrow morning when I get up. You'll need a 1x30 Harbor Freight belt sander. These are the best at, as far as for the money, doing what I do. When you get it, you're going to have a little, like a plate here and a guard there. Take that crap off. You don't need it. You want to adjust it so the belt looks like this, so it can flex in. Okay. You don't want it to the point where you can't move it back and forth. It needs to be able to flex. That's why you don't want to use oil on the sword, because it gets all this crap. But this is green compound. Keep the power off until you're ready to go. In other words, don't have it plugged in. But it should look like that. This here on the back is your tension valve, your tension thingy. So when you get ready to change the belts, you pull this forward, and you see how the belt loosened up. That's how you change the belts. Okay. Your on and off switch. See, I have it unplugged, so it isn't going to come on. Okay, the other things you're going to need are gloves. I do not wear them because, that's just the way I do it. But I recommend that for your first time, wear some kind of gloves over your hands. The full length gloves. And of course, you're going to need belts. I have 600 grit all the way up to 6,000 grit. You do not need that many if you just want to get a crazy edge. I do it because I'm very, very meticulous about what I do. I want to get the best possible edge, and I'll have a link in the description about how to get the belts, where to get the sander, and you can find Windex anywhere. Okay, so let me explain about what you're going to be doing when you're sharpening the sword. Okay. All right, I'm back. First thing you want to do, you want to start on the lowest possible grit, guys. You want to start on 600 grit. Depending on what I mean by the lowest grit, you don't want to start on 6,000 and then go down to like 3,000. You want to start at the bottom and go to the top. Now, I ain't gonna make that joke. I'm not gonna do it. But you know what I'm thinking. All right. When you make passes, let me lower this camera down so you can see what I'm doing. When you make passes on the sander, you're going to be pushing. Let me get my beer out of the way. When I say pushing, I mean not even pushing. You're going to be pressing the blade into it. The shinogi on your katana or whatever, the part where usually it's right around here, and it kind of angles and it goes down. This is going to be your guide. And the tape is going to protect. These belts are not that abrasive. They're not going to cut through the tape, but they will cut through the metal, if that makes any sense. But it's also the angle you have it at. This part is the most exposed, and it's getting the pressure. So when you push in, the belt flexes in. Okay? It's going downward, obviously. So it's going to be moving like this. So when the belt is flexed in, you see that? How it wraps down around the ha? That produces an apple seed convex geometry. Not this. You're getting the rounded edge. Okay? So when you do your passes, you want to start at the hibaki and just let the belt do the work. All you're doing is making sure the belt's flexing. You're not pushing anything like that. This is just a slow example so you can see what I do. When you get to here, pull the blade back gently. Okay? Same thing on the other side. I hold mine by the Kasaki. Everyone has their own different way. Okay? Push in. Okay? Pull it across. I don't have my sander secured. You don't want to go back and forth. You don't want to do two passes on the same side. It's push in, pull, stop at the Kasaki, okay? Do the same thing. Push in, pull, stop, pull back. Keep your hand that's holding this part of the blade on the blade. Never let go of this part of the blade. There's a chance it could pop back and hit you in the face. Let me go ahead and just take this. This is extremely dangerous, okay? It is not something that I'm telling you guys that you should do. It is something that I do, and you guys want to know how I do it, okay? This is how I do it. So now that we have the technique down, which there's not much technique. You push in, swipe, pull a whack, push in gently, swipe, okay? Now, the way you check to see if you're ready to go to the next grit is, this is my 600 grit belt, okay? And after you get done with the belt, or when you start checking the blade, which I will also say, check your work often. You know, make sure you're not screwing anything up. So what I usually do, I do pass, 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 pass. I stop, turn the sander off, let it rest for a second. Don't just keep going, because the blade's gonna get hot. Okay. So let the machine rest, let the steel rest, let you rest. Okay. But anyway, the way you check to see if you're ready to go to the next grit, when you look at the edge, and the last thing you're gonna need is a flashlight. Okay, because it's gonna be hard to see, especially when you get toward the finer grits. What you're looking for is called the curl. This is what I learned from Donnie Reed. This is how I took a lot of sharpening tutorials, and I just kind of made my own thing. But Donnie had a lot of influence on what I do. But the curl, or whatever you want to call it, you can call it the crust, the frost, I don't care. But it's still the same thing. It's when metal starts sticking to the top of the blade and you can thumb it off, okay? And when you can do that, it's time to get a paper towel, spray it with Windex, wipe off the blade. You don't want to go like this, okay? You want to go down, all right? You want to go down towards the edge. From this side, go like this with the cloth. If you go like this, you're gonna probably cut the cloth. You want to go down like that, all right? Not like this, and definitely not backwards. Down. This gets the curl off the blade. Then it's time to go to the next grit. Rinse and repeat. You do the same thing all the way up. Now, when you get toward the higher grits, obviously it's going to be harder to tell. So you're gonna have to use your judgment. Now, when you get to the final stage, which is the strop, what you're going to do is you're going to take honing compound, and you're going to, you're going to take the block, and you can do this one of two ways. There's a fast way, and there's a slow, correct way. Lately, I've been doing it the fast way, as you can see. I take the sander, turn it on, put the strop on. This is my strop. And you push in. This lets the belt coat itself in this compound. When you do that, you're gonna have a mess. You're gonna have green compound, sticking to the belt, and you're gonna probably get some compound on you. So that's why I don't recommend you wearing anything but nice. Okay. Now, same deal as before with the strop. The only thing is with this, you won't spend near as much time on this part as you will on your lower grit belts. All right. So same deal as before. Push in. Start at the habaki right here. Push in. Swipe. Obviously, you want to keep the blade on the belt, but I'm trying to watch the camera and not knock the tripod over. All right. Key points. Check your work often. Be careful. Take this off. And the last thing you want to have with you is a phone or someone in the room. This is because you never know what's going to happen, guys. So be safe. Anyway, once you get to the strop, the most passes I've ever had to do is 10. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, like that, back and forth, changing sides. So really 5 passes on each side. Okay. So once you get done with that, you can test the sharpness in between grits, by the way, because obviously the blade is, the edge is exposed. So that's when we take our paper. Printer paper is not what I recommend for testing this, because most any blade can swipe through printer paper, because it's so. Whew, my damn tripod fell over. It's so brittle anyway, so it's gonna cut pretty easy. Notebook paper is another story because it's really flimsy. And as you can see, that's why I want to touch this up. There's some spots that grab. I was in a hurry when I did this, and it's just still not where I want to be. All right. So that's the tutorial, guys. There's not, like I said, there's not much that I do. It produces a crazy edge. It works very well. So that's about it. Obviously be careful when you take the tape off. You want to take Windex and get all that crud, because you're gonna have all kinds of crap on that blade. You're gonna have honing compound stuck. You're gonna have, the residue off the abrasive belts. So give it a good shine with some Windex or some bootleg Windex like I got from Walmart. Okay. Then you want to oil the blade really well, because you gotten all the oil off. There's no oil on it. So you want to put some oil on it. I switched, like I said, to Remington gun oil. It works fine. No problem. Good to go. So if you guys got any further questions, this is how the sword looks when it's taped off. If you guys got any further questions, drop me a comment below. I'll be sure to respond to you quickly. Like I said, and as far as the debate on the convex versus beveled, think about it like this. When you have a convex edge, and I know I've said this numerous times, but maybe you haven't seen my other videos, so I'm going to cover it again. Convex or Appleseed geometry means you keep all of the meat, as much meat as you can, on the edge. Say this was a regular katana, because this has like no naku on it. There's no meat. It's just flat steel. Okay. So it would kind of round down like that toward the edge. But when you do a bevel, which looks like a house or roof of a house, this is this is your naku, the back of my hand right here. And when you create a bevel, you're causing a sudden change in the geometry, which you don't really want to do. So you're coming down. This is your naku, your shinogi. So, and then it suddenly goes thin. Okay, you don't have that meat there anymore, like that. It's like this now. It's ultra thin. So not only is the blade weaker, it's not as sharp. Or let me say this: it won't cut as well. When you cut into a target, say this is a tatami man, okay, and the blade meets and it cuts in, okay, it's gonna grab even just a little bit, it's gonna be noticeable, but if it's smooth, it's just gonna glide through, okay. So you're gonna create resistance, you're going to create weakness. It's going to dull faster because you don't have that meat supporting the edge, and that's why you always want a convex edge on your katana, on your Japanese style blades. I can't speak for every other sword in the world because I don't have them. I have Japanese and I have this Korean. This is a Samgato Yuki from Munetoshi. Okay, so that's it, guys. That's all it is. Just to recap. You know what? There's no point in recapping. I've already said it. Okay, I'm not going to keep saying the same thing over and over again. I'm not going to ramble. So you guys have a great day. Cut safe, sharpen safe. We'll see you next time. Peace.